guys, it's your favourite film buff, back for more reviews, and we're looking at this one from 2013, with a good old favourite of mine being given the movie treatment, albeit a fan treatment, but that's besides the point. Up for review are Eddie LeBron and Blue Core Studios' Sonic. Not Sonic the Hedgehog, nor Sonic the movie, just Sonic. Title aside, how does this fare for the iconic Hedgehog who turned 22 in 2013? Well, let's look at the plus sides and minuses. The plus sides are that Jaleel White returned to reprise his role for the first time since 98-99, and in my humble opinion, he has not missed a beat. He has that same sassy attitude and moxie tone in his voice that established him as the token voice as the Hedgehog with attitude back in the Satam years, which, in my honest opinion, in terms of an animated series, is the best one of Sonic to date. Roger Craig Smith is awesome, and has established himself as a competent voice for Sonic in the modern era, but Jaleel is just that little bit better. In a video by LeBron, he stated that Jaleel was able to get the same pitch that he had when he first voiced Sonic 20 years ago, but he wanted to make it sound deeper, which is understandable since the world went through a dark transition where they like darker characters. Although I'm glad that Jaleel did not stray too far from his recognizable tone, as the very notion of Sonic going Christian Bale would not only have made me laugh in hysterics, I would have not been able to take it seriously. I mean, could you imagine, "It's go time, I'm up over and gone"? Seriously, it would sound ridiculous. DJ Hazard does very well at being the first ever live-action Dr. Robotnik, as he has this dark presence whilst at the same time not chewing up the scenery like a regular occurrence with Anthony Hopkins. I do give the writers credibility for referencing Kintobor from the UK Fleetway comic, which is arguably one of the best comic publications of Sonic to this date. If it had Sally Acorn Satam guys, then it would have been complete, but that's my own personal hang-up. I won't knock this film's CG quality of Sonic, the Badniks nor the E-Droids, as considering that CG ultimately cost Eddie and the studio more than the actual cast and the location shoots, then it's understandable why you see the Blue Bomber so sparingly, and for a fan movie, it is what it is. If you were expecting an ILM treatment of Sonic like Iron Man or Optimus Prime, then sorry, your expectations were far too high. And like I said, for a fan film of Old Blue Boy, it is good. As for the design of Sonic himself, I actually liked it. It was able to resemble the way we remember Sonic throughout the years, yet at the same time add some realism to it, which seems to be a huge aspect that people care a lot about these days. James Rolfe was actually good as a newsreader, as he does have a very good newsreading voice that an audience would enjoy listening to. Doug Walker did very well at being a non-verbal actor, as it requires talent just to act anyway these days, but it takes even more so to act without speaking. A good example of this is of Vinnie Jones from Gone in 60 Seconds from 2000. There were some good references to Saturday Morning with roboticizing and DJ taking what Jim Cummings had done as Robotnik, but portraying it in a much more subtle manner without chewing the scenery, as I mentioned earlier. And I like the jab at Sonic 360 when Sonic remarks the way the lead female GUN soldier is looking at him.
I hope not. I mean, you're pretty and all, but...
No!
Now, here come the minus points. The film does a very good job at skipping over necessary plot points that could have been covered. Now, granted, LeBron stated himself that this is a spec film to demonstrate how a live-action Sonic film could work. But even in a near 20-minute flick, some plot holes could have been covered up. Sonic says he'll tell you how it got this way and how he'll make it go back, yet this is never expanded upon. Even with a strict budget, you could have written it with more depth so that the story stands up well, even with a limited time run. David Hasselhoff once said, "When you have a limited budget for an episode, you work on the story more." That's something that both Knight Rider SG and this flick could have done, but that's my 2 cents, take it as you will. It was good that Knuckles was featured in this, but to my recollection, Knuckles has never had fingers. If this flick is supposed to be canon with the games, then logic would dictate that it should stick to what has passed. Knuckles is an echidna only with thumbs and rock-climbing Knuckles on his large fists. All in all, Sonic does a very good job of a proper live-action Sonic the Hedgehog movie, much closer to reality, and from what I understand at the time I saw this, Sega told LeBron they could help him make a much bigger movie if impressed, and to my knowledge, even Yuji Naka liked this flick as well. So if Sonic finally makes it to Hollywood, then a much tighter script needs to be put together where the plot holes are little to non-existent. I give this a good flick bargain. It's okay and entertaining, nothing overtly special. Until next time, guys, good night from the night.